So someone asked for a tutorial on splits. Now I create all of my movements from my core. My core is my pivotal movement point, strength focuser, and movement creator. I believe personally without my core, I won't have a safe movement. So with this first movement, I am engaging my hip flexor strength, flexibility, and core. Wrapping my arms back for straight arm scapular strength, and doing a slightly deepened downward dog to open my chest. All of these are starting to fire up and place heat in my body. And heat gives me the ability to start to open my body and create safe movement. Safe movement is so important, and creating movement in a movement pattern that doesn't overly lengthen your muscles is very important. Some of us are more flexible than others and can go too far, and that can also create instabilities throughout the body. So as I open up my chest again, because chest openers are required for splits. Splits have a slight back bend, and it's one of the fundamentals. So I use the downward dog, deepen it, and allow my splits to open in the air. This allows for me to have every opening needed to create the splits. It allows me to warm up my hamstrings of the bottom leg, open my hamstrings as well, open my hip flexors with the top leg, open my chest with the downward dog, and create strength in my core. My body is very fired right now. Now I keep creating strength in the core because I want all my movements to come from the core. And when it comes from the core, I know that I can place a suitable and safe movement to create the movements I want. Stepping forward into a low lunge, I create a bouncing movement. This bouncing movement allows me to work with my fascia. And my fascia is very important to work with because it creates a safe movement and also helps my body so it doesn't age with stress of over movement. It creates a safe strengthening area. I then go deeper into my hip flexors, opening them up, bringing my leg forward, and also allowing the bounce. If it feels comfortable or if it doesn't, you choose, work with your body. I've always liked the movement in stretches. I feel like I can find places that need it. And finally, creating strength and opening with my top foot, allow to have that balance between flexibility and strength and heat and fire. From here, I'm going to go back into half splits. Now I'm going to really start to deepen my hamstring work. And this is a pre-prep for going into full splits. It's a really nice feeling and I really enjoy it. And then I'm going to start to create a hip opening movement with the half splits, and this allows me to open my hips further to create even splits on the floor, so I'm not rocking to one side because my hamstrings and hip flexors aren't both open equally. From this pyramid pose, I want to create fire again in my hip flexors, hamstrings, and core. This allows me to create the strength I need to maintain a safe movement, and it starts to allow me to even deepen my flexibility. Slowly now I'm starting to sink deeper into the splits. I'm going to come up tall and then bend my knee into it. This is going to allow me to again keep on creating heat as I create flexibility, keeping my hips on an even plane, squeezing my glutes. Now I'm coming up tall, which is where you start to get the back bend and chest opener. And slowly as the fire warms, keeping my hips horizontal, I'm able to slowly start to move deeper and deeper into each movement of the splits. You can use a block at any one time that you need, and slowly it will sink deep into the splits. Now this is just a quick tutorial, and the longer you do these repetitions and holds, the more deeper you're going to able to maintain the stretch and flexibility in the end.